Beat him senseless.
You and me and you, we gonna throw down. That's right, we gonna get serious.
You can run, but you can't hide.
It's time for the Fuller Broadcast with your host, Jeff Fuller.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Full Broadcast Media. I'm here live, talk interviews about fights, MMA, amateur fighters around the world, talk about their careers, how they got where they had to go, and we'll go from there. And today I have Chad, who is a pro fighter. He fought pro MMA. He's 2-2. He's getting ready to fight his pro debut at Value Bare Knuckle with Kim Shamrocks. And also, we're going to give a little talk about everything else, see what's going on with his career. You there, Chad? I think I lost Chad for a minute. That was my fault. I went live and didn't realize that I wasn't live. So welcome back. Yay, me. I screwed that one up. Can you hear me, Chad? Let me move this screen here real quick, see if he comes back. I think I lost Chad for a minute. I'm here live on TikTok also. We're here to talk about multiple fights coming up with Value Bare Knuckle fighting. We have Bobby Brandt, who's coming back to fight October 7th after his injury in his ring fight. Got hurt in the back. He's coming back. He's fighting October 27th. We have a few fighters from Daryl's organization that are going to be fighting that fight also October 27th. And there's going to be some great fights going on here in the next couple of weeks. I can't wait. So you guys, I'm trying to look cool, like Hank playing Hank, I'll never be like playing Hank. So I appreciate everybody. Hey, Rick, how you doing, man? I see I got my buddy Peter up here. He lives in Eloy, has his own business, and like around Coolidge, Casa Grande, and all. If you guys live around Casa Grande, Eloy, and other areas, give me a shout out and message me. Peter be glad to have you up on his show. I mean, go to your house, fix whatever you need. It could be indoor, outdoor. He'd be glad to message you, give you some quotes, come to your house. He'll fix things up for you. Just give him a holler. Can you hear me now, Chad? Let me see. All right, hang on for a second, guys. I'm going to text, go out and... All right, so Chad's going to come back in. He's having problems with sound, so we'll get him back up here as soon as possible. So I missed you guys. I missed being live. Missed talking about my bare knuckle buddies like Rick. He just recently won his fight. And so we'll come back to that. But right now we're going to bring Chad on here, the pro MMA fighters 2-2. And, hey, man, I'm sorry about that, Chad.
It's all right. Yes, sir, I can.
I'm the goofball. Forgot to start my show live. All right.
I understand that.
So I apologize. Let's go back. Let's introduce yourself. Get you back where you're at. So you guys know Chad's 43 years old. It doesn't matter what age you are. You can be 18 all the way to 65. You can still fight the fight. And this is what I like about Chad. He's in the 40s. He's still fighting. He's showing everybody that he can fight, still playing the game. And that's much respect from me. So give us a little detail about you, Chad.
I got started about 5 years ago. I wrestled in college and then got married, had kids, ended up getting divorced. And 1 week I had my kids, and one of my coworkers, Sam McAlpin, called me and he's like, "Hey man, didn't you wrestle in college?" I said, "Yeah." He said, "Well, I got a guy that I'm training for an MMA fight that's fighting a wrestler. Do you care to come up here?" And it ended up being Trevor Peak, UFC fighter now, Trevor Peak. And so I went up there, and there's about 5 of us. Then none of us know what we were doing. We'd watch stuff on YouTube and come to practice and try to learn new combos. So I got started with them, and then Sam started his own promotion. And I did a fight for him, and then I started fighting for Valor, a different Valor, up in Knoxville, which is now bought out and is Aries Fight Series. And then, I got to go up there in Knoxville and train at KMAA for a while. Got to train with the likes of Ovent St. Preux, Jason King, and get coached by Eric Turner, which Eric's a great coach. And then from there, I went on and moved out towards Madisonville, Tennessee, and got to train with and be coached by a great friend, Adam Sylvie, who just fought for Aries Fight Series Friday night, and he's in his 40s as well. So it's been a fun little ride. I started off doing this I was going to do one and done just to see if I could do it, and I think between my amateur and boxing and MMA, I think I'm on fight number 13. I think
That's not bad. It's not bad.
No, 5 years.
So with all that training and with all your friends and all the trainers, age, like everybody out there, everybody thinks age is a number. A lot of people think people the age is over 40 and 50 shouldn't be fighting. So give everybody your prospect about how you feel about what these fans and people think about the age number, because I feel like it doesn't matter what your age you are. You could probably be 70 years old and still be strong and still get in that fight. So
yeah, I think where age plays as far as the actual fight game, I don't think age plays a whole lot of a factor unless you've been in it for so many years and taken, a lot of shots to the chin and to the head and, get that button pressed a little bit too much. But as far as age, where the age, I believe, is the hard part is the training and the keeping healthy. You get older, things start going out a whole lot easier than they do when you're 20. So you got to be a little bit more careful with how you train and how hard you push it all the time. But as far as the actual fight goes, to me, as long as I told him, as long as I can be competitive with the younger boys, I'm going to keep doing it.
So what's your training been like right now, getting ready to fight your pro debut? Has it been a lot different than what you do for training for MMA?
Yes and no. The concept is the same, just tweaking a little bit for, obviously stand-up boxing only. So what a lot of folks don't know is, so I fought from age 38 to age 41 consistently. And then I had 3 back surgeries, and the doctors told me I wasn't ever going to fight again. And somehow or another, I've cleared all of their protocols, went through all the rehab, and started training again, and got cleared to fight. So the last 2 years, I've been training for boxing. That's all I've been working on. So most people know me as a grappler and a wrestler. That's my game. And I just decided, if you're going to do one of these things, if you're going to say you're a fighter, you got to do all aspects of it. So, I've decided to do something where I can't take you down. And it may backfire. I may get in there and be like, you know what? This stand-up stuff ain't for me. But you know what? When I throw my hat in at the end of the day and say I'm done, I could tell everybody I tried.
That's good, because there's a lot of people out there that take other people's opinion. It can be from fighters to friends, family. It's your body. You know what your body can do. They don't. So it's right. A lot of they'll be saying, I don't think you could do this. I don't think you're not strong enough. You're too old for this. I get tired of hearing that bullshit from a lot of people. Pardon my language, but it's true. It's the person that's training for that promotion. He knows his body. He knows what he can handle. So it's like, I'm going to do what I got to do. I mean, he can hate me or not, but I know I could do this fight.
Right. Absolutely. And that's kind of my concept of it. I've been told several times, you're too old, throw in the towel, just quit. I mean, I'm having fun. That's what makes me different than a lot of folks, is I'm not trying to do this as a full-time career. I'm 43 years old. I'm a little bit beyond prime of trying to make this a career. So the fact that I do this for fun makes me, one, a little bit psychotic, and two, at the end of the day, I'm training. I'm gonna go in there and fight. And I mean, I'm uber competitive, so I'm not saying that if I lose, it's gonna affect me. No, I hate losing, and I'm gonna go in there, and they better knock me unconscious because that's the only way they get me out of here. But at the same time, I'm going home to two awesome kids, a great career. Like this is a hobby that I take serious, but it's a hobby nonetheless.
So I hate to interrupt you. I'm gonna bring my co-host on here real quick, Zachary. Hey, Zachary, about time you can show up, man.
What's up?
So we were just talking about Chad's pro debut. He's got coming up on October the 27th, if I got the date right. With
Yes,
Yeah, on the Valor card.
So we're talking about age and what people think about, being old, and people don't think you could fight because you're old, and they don't think you
The
can.
last thing to go is your power, and you only got to catch somebody one time, bare knuckle, it's over.
Right.
So, Chad, with your training for the upcoming bout, what's your technique of training, getting your hands ready? And I know Kim Shamrock, I think his is a little different. They don't have ropes, or I'm not sure how you guys are fighting. Never seen his fight promotion. So give us a little detail how your training is.
It looks like an open wrestling mat. They got some lines for out of bounds. It's geared to make you stay in the circle and just swing. So I just do my normal boxing routine. I mean, you're just gonna take the gloves off, and it's not gonna be any different.
So let's give a little talk about your opponent. Who's your opponent coming up? You're gonna be fighting.
His name is Robinson Perez. I believe he's from Massachusetts. He came on he got on through the Valor tryouts.
So Zachary, you heard about your Ken Shamrock promotion. How do you feel about this promotion that they got fighters excited about this?
People want to watch people get knocked out. If they can, live up to the expectation, that'd be great.
So,
people like to watch good fights. They don't care if it's on pay-per-view. They don't care if it's free fights. They don't care if it's in somebody's fucking backyard. They want to watch good fights. Solid, clean punches, crisp punches landed efficiently, accurately, that do damage. They don't want to see two guys out there fucking hugging, sucking wind, wrestling around.
So are the time limits different than BKFC and open bare knuckle fights? Is it different rounds, different times, or what? How's it gonna go?
I think it's 3 minutes, if I understood correctly.
I'm not sure. I think Zachary's gonna have to help me look that up, because I think if he wants to fight, I think he'll fight that October 27th too.
I think it's 3 minutes too. Yeah, I'm not sure what Daryl's got in the works right now.
So it looks like you're fighting on the same card as Bobby Brent, Chad.
Awesome.
Bobby Brent, yeah. It's glad to see Bobby coming back after that recent injury he had in the back. So it looks like it's going to be a great card to watch. I'm not sure. I'll find out about the stream. So give us a little detail about your background, about the support.
Oh, yeah.
And
by the way, Bobby's in the woods deer hunting right now, and Bobby says to say, fuck Todd Duffy. Todd Duffy's a little bitch for backing out. Fuck Todd Duffy. Double fist fuck Todd Duffy right in his asshole. That's what Bobby says.
That fucking dude must be scared. That's probably why he backed out.
No, Bobby will knock his ass the fuck out. That's what it is. Bobby will put that man to sleep. He will separate him from consciousness. He will enter the shadow realm. Good night.
All right, so Chad, tell us a little bit about your support system. I mean, do you have a lot of support behind you, your sponsors? If you have, how's it going?
Yeah, I've got several sponsors. I come from a small town, and they really get behind me. It's really amazing. So I grew up in Indiana, so I have a whole group of folks from Indiana, and then now I live in Alabama. So I got 2 states worth of people that they buy pay-per-views, and if it's close enough, they pack the place out.
Oh yeah.
So, do you think Ken's? Do you guys think Kim Shamrock's promotion is going to be upcoming bigger, try to get better than BKFC?
I think it could. Really,
Anything can happen.
right.
You know,
Okay.
just like with the UFC, it takes one good fight. You know what that fight was for the UFC, don't you?
Forrest and Bonner.
Forrest Griffin, Stephen Bonner. Fucking legendary. Immediate Hall of Fame entry. Like, you know, they get a war out there like that, people will watch them from now on. They will tune in.
So can you give us a little more detail about how excited you're about your pro debut? You know, I know it's going to be a little different. Oh, hang on for a second.
How many Emmy fights have you had?
I think I had seven Emmy fights, and then I've done. I'm 2-2 as a pro in MMA. This is my pro bare knuckle debut.
Okay. Where did you fight mostly in state-wise?
Tennessee, Knoxville. I did most of my fights. Okay. Tennessee. We had a promotion here in Alabama called AFC, and then we had one in Alabama called AFL, and then I fought at Coliseum Combat in Indiana.
Okay. Sounds good. So sounds like you're stoked to get in there and throw some hands, man.
I am. It's just I've been wanting to do this for a couple of years. Had a couple of back surgeries, and it's finally all come together.
Yeah. Do you know much about your opponent?
I know he's grounded in boxing. I've watched a couple of his boxing matches. I know he's aggressive. He comes in. He's swinging for the fences for every shot. He's not a technical boxer. I do.
They rely too much on this, and they don't realize that still fucking hurts whenever it's bare knuckle.
right, exactly. He swings hard. He looks like he's got some power. He's very aggressive. So, and we got a little game plan to combat that. But it's like they always say, everybody's got a game plan until you get hit in the face. So,
that's right. I mean, you can only be so aggressive when somebody's throwing straight punches at your face.
Exactly.
John Strickland proved that with Israel Adesanya. You can only be the aggressor if they allow you to be so.
Right.
I mean, if you've got a hand out there in his face the whole time like this, I mean, it's hella hard to get past that. I mean, right. It's real hard to mount your offense behind somebody else's good jab. An educated jab will just destroy people. I mean, you see it a lot with people like Reggie Barnett and with Tony Soto, people like that, Tyler Goodjohn, guys like that throw that straight jab. I mean, yeah, we love watching guys that go in there and throw big Lorenzo Hunt, Joe Elmore, Hector Lombard fucking hard power shots. But what happens when you do that and you just keep stepping back? I mean, that guy can't. You go loading up like that, and I'm just peppering your face up. I mean, it's
right.
It's a simple science. Right. That's why I've noticed these boxers keep getting really fucked up because they're trained to do one thing. They're not trained to get hit like that and keep going. they go down, they take a knee, they get cut up, they think that their hands are going to protect them like this. Your hands and arms are only going to eat so much of that blow, and your fucking head's still going to eat the rest of it. I mean, it's going to hurt you still, like we said earlier, but a lot of these fellas don't understand that. For whatever reason, they decide that this is the best policy. Head down, fucking arms flailing, and man, it drives me nuts.
You thought about that, because I was thinking about that one fight you just did. The guy kept, all he was trying to throw power. That's all he was doing. It was the last week's fight. I can't think which one it was. The guy just kept throwing power, and he'll run around. And I'm like, why would you fight like that? I mean, does the power helping you get the punches in, or is it more
he
like
thinks
more
he's throwing faster because he's throwing all his weight behind the punch? But what he doesn't realize is cats don't attack you as hard as they can. They attack you as fast as they can.
That's true. That's true. So
The same can be said with any sport. I mean, even with point fighting, with taekwondo, with touch fighting. If I'm touching you first, I'm scoring.
Right.
So what's your strategy going to be when you the minute you do that walkout? Do you already have a strategy of what your game plan is going to be, or are you just going to go out there and swing?
I mean, we've built a strategy for this, but you know, it's one of those things. You can have a strategy until you get in that moment, and then you know it can all go out the window. You know, you can look back to Johnny Hendricks and John Fitch. Hendricks come to the mat, had a wrestling game plan, looked at his corner, and he's like, I'm gonna hit this sumbitch one time as hard as I can and see what happens. And he knocked him out in 15 seconds.
Yep.
So we've got a little bit of a game plan, but you know,
everything changes whenever your mouth's open.
Right.
Yeah. I think when I've been watching bare knuckle fighting, I think the stronger your chin is, the longer it'll take to knock that fight out. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
No, I think that works in reverse. The stronger your chin is, the worse your face is going to look at the end of that fight. The more fucked up you're going to get, and the worse you're going to look at the end of that day. I mean, don't get me wrong. I love it being tough, being able to take all those punches, whatever. Don't get cut. Don't get busted up. But man, you're going to feel that shit for days because you wanted to stand in the pocket and trade instead of fighting like you were educated. You know what I mean? And a lot of them guys just don't do that. And I wish that they did, because they'd have a lot better, more efficient careers. Can't really say more illustrious, because people love to watch that ducking, dodging, weaving, throwing fucking hooks all over the place. But they also like to watch a guy who fights really good behind this educated jab, like somebody like Howard Davis or Bryce Henry, or somebody that's really fucking long like that, like a Klitschko style fighter that you try to come in with that hook shit, and I'm bam, and your ass is going backwards because you're not going to keep running into that shit. You know, I'm hunting you from that point. It's not you trying to hunt me because I've already hurt you. You know.
That's true. That's true. So, Chad, I noticed you're in the car. It looks like you got to go places. So, I appreciate you coming on our show, talking about a little bit about yourself and your pro debut coming. But after your fight, October 27th, I'd like to bring you back on and tell us more about that fight and how you felt, and, you know, would you continue? You know, just talk more about after your fight.
Give us a rundown, basically, of the fight, how it went, how you thought it was going to go, you know, little ins and outs of what you did versus what your opponent did, what you thought he was going to do, vice versa, you know. Just kind of break it down for us from your point of view.
Sounds good.
So perfect. You know the rules. Perfect. Shout out to everybody you need to give a shout out to, Chad.
All my sponsors, AWT Portable Toilets, Kimberly Ann's Floorings, Lamone's Mexican Restaurant. Let's see here. Robert Davis, the Eider Police Department. Every one of them's helped out in every way. My kids, Zion and Carly, I wouldn't do this without them. So y'all come out and watch us October 27th.
All right, man. Appreciate you being on our show.
Hands up, chin down, give them hell.
Yes, sir.
All right, man. Wish you the best. Get out there
All
and
right,
use
thank you.
those hands, boy.
Yes, sir.
Have a good one.
Bye.
Hey, Zachary, I'm glad to be back on live again. So I was going to ask you a little bit more about the bare knuckle and between Shamrock's promotion and David Feldman's promotion. Is there a competition going on with them? Do you feel like the BYB is above both of them? Because I believe a lot of people saying BYB with a triangle is much better.
If you want to get upfront about it, the promotions out of England and Great Britain are probably better because they've been doing it for longer. I'm saying sanctioning wise with all the rules and they have everything set out and established and been had it over there for a long time. So I would say that it doesn't really matter what promotion it is. If they're holding an event over there, it's fucking tip top Magoo shape the way it's supposed to be.
Right.
Because they don't play that bullshit. They don't play that bullshit. You know, in the UK, they have strict rules. Like you could be on the street and somebody could be like attacking you, and you have to phone the police. You can't just beat the shit out of them.
That's true. That's true.
I know for a fact that's true because my friends live over there and they've told me. One of my buddies, one of his good mates got arrested because these guys kicked his door in and he fucking hit one of them and knocked all his fucking teeth out and fucked him up really bad. And then the police took him to jail and he got charged for it because it was great bodily harm.
Dang, man. This world's coming to some weird shit. So let's talk a little bit about Bobby Brandt's opponent. So I've heard that he backed out. So,
well, that's what the whole beginning of the video was about when I said "fuck Todd Duffy" with both fists. Yeah.
Are they going to find an opponent for Bobby?
Oh, I'm sure they will. I'm sure.
I really think whoever's fighting Bobby is afraid to get in there with Bobby. You know what I mean? Like, shit, I ain't facing a Zombie. Zombie probably going to really whoop my ass for one punch, you know?
There you go.
Yep, I'm glad to see Bobby back though. I mean, after it was gruesome to see him from his first injury.
His leg was fucked. Yeah, his leg was fucked up.
Yeah, that's what I heard. I'm glad to see him back, man. And
definitely.
He looks stronger and better now. So October 27th, guys, better be ready. We're gonna see a bunch of my buddies.
For sure. Why don't you give all of our sponsors a quick shout out, and then I got to run because I got to go in here and make dinner.
All right, sounds good. We got D&D custom baits for all your fishing needs. If you guys want some awesome baits, different flavor, colors, whatever, D&D baits is the best place to get your order from. Zachary here will talk a little bit more about it.
Pretty much whatever kind of color combinations that you can come up with. I mean, if Landon's got the pour mold to make the creature that you're wanting, I mean, you guys can get something done. I mean, it's as simple as that. He can make it in pretty much any kind of color that you could imagine, as long as it's feasible. So get a hold of Landon from D&D Baits.
Yep. And we got surprises coming up here soon. The next couple of weeks, I'll be giving out some fish baits. And hopefully I'll have some teachers here made within the next couple of weeks, if I can. We're going to start giving out prizes. And also, I got a future sponsor coming up on board, Tiffany's Treasure. We're doing a little talking right now. She makes some good products, with wine glasses. I mean, she makes some, what was the other thing you said she made?
Rolling trays, cups, ashtrays, stash containers, pretty much a wide variety of resin things.
I think she can make blankets too. So
yeah,
just keep it
yeah, she can also do crochet work for sure.
So
she's definitely down to do some crochet work. And hit up Tim Schultz from Schultz Game Calls. get your deer hunt on, get your turkey hunt on, duck hunt, whatever you got. Get a hold of him.
So Zachary's going to give out a little shout out to some of his sponsors also. And we're going to hit off on the show, and we'll see you guys again this week. We're going to at least maybe have two or three more shows. So be ready. Full Broadcast is back. I guarantee you, I'm only off on the weekends, but I will try to get some shows nighttime during the week if I can when I'm off at night. So we're going to come back. We're going to be stronger. I apologize for the long layoff. Zach knows what I've been going through. So hopefully, I don't have no more setbacks.
I'd like to give a shout out to my personal business, Bertram's Tree and Brush Service, and another big sponsor that I've got, Scotty's Pest Control. He's been there since the beginning. Just cumulatively like to thank all my sponsors and supporters and everybody that helps support the show and grows our little community here. Thanks, guys. We appreciate it. We love you.
Yep. Thanks for watching the Full Broadcast Mania. Zachary, my co-host, and Jeff Fuller, we're out. We'll see you guys soon.
Peace.
Peace out.